Climate is the result of a complex interaction among the sun, ocean, soil, biosphere, and atmosphere. All natural disasters are caused by a combination of ocean currents and the atmosphere. Global warming has the potential to wreak havoc on the planet in the form of tsunamis and droughts. Rapid climate change is also disrupting natural habitats. Winter hardy species are losing their habitat and becoming extinct. As temperature rise in streams and rivers, fish die and much of the forest disappears. One of the major problems plaguing the country today is water scarcity. There is no difference between a city and village. In front of public wells, tanks, is a row of buckets that stretch like a canal. Women carrying pot on their heads are also a common sight. More than 70% of the villagers do not have their own water supply. Drought-affected areas suffer even more. The Western Ghats are not only the oldest in the Himalayas, but also the oldest in the world. 20 hotspots in the world have been selected for biodiversity. The Western Ghats is one of the 5 most important of them all. That's why it's given World Heritage status. The Western Ghats stretch parallel to the Arabian Sea, covering an area of 160,000 kilometers square from Kanyakumari to the Tapti River in Gujarat. Kerala is in the western part of it. The flora and fauna of the Western Ghats is amazing. Reptiles, Nilgiri tar, flowering plants and dragonfly, Neelakuranji can be seen here. Situated at the equator, the Western Ghats have heavy rainfall, water abundance and dense forests. These mountains are a treasure trove of natural resources. Mining, agriculture and human intervention are prohibited in this area. But resort mining and political alliances are encroaching on these mountains, destroying forests and inviting terrible disasters. Water is one of the main constituents of life. Water is the nectar that nature gives us. Water is linked to the growth of life. Save and store for the future. In Kerala, the monsoon season begins in June. Rainfall is the transformation of water from the depths of the earth to the groundwater. Water is also needed for human biochemical functions. Two-thirds of the earth is water. Of this, 97.4% is seawater and the remaining 2.7% is pure water. 22.4% of fresh water is groundwater. 90% of water is used for agricultural purposes. When it rains non-stop for many days, the amount of water in the rivers goes into the natural resources without being able to contain it. Open dams during heavy rains can also cause floods. This can also happen with low pressure. Improper urban planning is another cause of flooding. Housing colonies are built in low-lying areas that are flooded even in moderate rainfall. Roads, bridges, and sky towers are being built to block natural drainage systems. We ignored the warnings given by the earth. That protest reached us with landslides and floods. Domestic waste is caused by a number of pathogenic microorganisms that led to the biological transformation of water. Contamination of drinking water sources can lead to serious health problems and waterborne diseases such as cholera, typhoid, etc. The source of new viruses like COVID has yet to be discovered by science. Studies show that heavy metals such as nickel, zinc, mercury, copper, iron, and chloride are present in water. But the authorities are conducting only basic tests and supplying water. Human traces continue to pollute rivers, lakes, ponds, and all water bodies in the name of rituals. There are numerous temple ponds in Kerala. Those ponds store water and enrich the nearby wells with water in summer. The new generation is filling in such wells and erecting concrete buildings. Water conservation and maintenance has always been a serious issue. In case of heavy rains, the width, depth, and the length of the rivers should be increased so that the water flows into the sea. As well as the accumulated algae, plastic, waste should be removed from the water. A wetland is a flowing or non-flowing area that carries salt water or fresh water. Therefore, paddy fields, streams, rivers, lakes, backwaters, estuaries, dams, swamps, and mangroves are all wetlands. Wetlands are one of the most biologically important habitats. They act as a water source for living organisms, including humans, by storing runoff water and supplying it to wells and ponds as springs. These plants have the ability to absorb carbon. Otter and variety of reptiles lives in mangroves. The roots of this plant are a breeding ground and habitat for a wide variety of microorganisms, fish and birds. Sad to say, we continue to dump garbage and cut down mangroves. Drinking clean water is a fundamental human right. It is the responsibility of the government to ensure that human rights are upheld. Water will be a necessity in the future. Human may not be able to prevent or avoid natural disasters, but we can minimize impact there. The life of the earth may be extended by a moment. The natural calamities we see now are the result of our silence when we hit a hill, cut down a tree, or attack a river. Water is one of the main constituents of life. It is the nectar that nature gives us.